All right, so we ready for our next segment?
Yep.
I'm very excited about this segment. The next segment we're doing is called Wish I Could.
I wish I could.
So each week when we do this segment, one of us will become the general manager for a sports team and say what I wish I could do if I had the money, the ability to make this team great.
to hear this.
So this week is me.
Now, I'm about to say, be mindful when we do this segment, we're going to try to be as realistic as possible. So don't expect us saying that the New York Knicks are going to land LeBron James. You know what I mean?
Farm on everything. Like,
right. And they have
everybody.
crazy money that they could spend.
And
it's
when
going
I
to be
say
realistic.
successful, I mean successful for that team.
For that team.
Exactly.
So for some teams, it might be, all right, we go from the worst team in the league to we're contending for
a playoff
spot.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
AC,
saying?
right.
For a playoff team, it's now how do we get to the finals?
How do we get to the
For a
final, right.
finals contender, is how do we win the chip?
Exactly.
All right,
Gotcha.
so this week,
Gotcha.
if you can't tell from my quarter zip,
I knew it.
I am the general manager of the Philadelphia 76ers.
We are,
Okay, so Daryl Morey just got hired and fired in 4 days, guys. They took a look around the market and said Antonio Gibson is the man for the job. All right, and as a diehard Sixers fan who understands what it took to get from the process to where we are now, I looked at the roster, guys, and
Al Horford's going. We already know
look, I looked at the roster, and I wanted to be realistic about this. Okay, so we're in a bad spot. We're in a bad spot because you got a lot of money put into a lot of contracts of guys who may or may not fit. Al Horford does not fit. Tobias Harris may fit, but does not fit at that cap spot and does not fit in the role he's in.
Does not fit in the role, right.
You have Ben Simmons, who does fit with Joel, but they don't have the right pieces around him. So I looked around and said, what can I do to make this team better? I fired up the old trade machine, and I did some trading. Okay, so the first thing I did was I made a trade for Devin Booker. News came out this week that the Sixers were interested in going after James Harden, and I said I wanted a younger, in my opinion, better version of James Harden. I said it.
And that is
I
Devin Booker.
believe that Devin Booker is a better player than James Harden.
Listen,
okay,
this man dropped 71
That's
points.
we got barbershop hot takes coming up after this. That's not my hot take because I believe it's just a real take.
No,
you understand what I'm saying?
I can't even
So
argue.
this is
I want to so bad, but I can't.
Gotta take it.
You gotta just take that,
gotta
right?
take that.
So the impetus of this trade came from what you
Shout out
said
to Devin
earlier.
Booker.
Is Devin Booker? Ryan Russillo came out on the Bill Simmons podcast the other day and said it's the worst kept secret in the NBA that Devin Booker wants out of Phoenix.
Yeah.
2018, Devin Booker went out and said this is going to be my last year missing the playoffs. Well,
Yeah.
he then missed the playoffs the next 2 years.
Yep.
So I do believe in his mind he can be had.
Right.
Of course, everybody knows he wants to play with his brothers, Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell, but screw them. Come to Philly. And this is what my trade is. So I traded Josh Richardson and Ben Simmons to Phoenix.
Okay.
I mean, to Phoenix. This is a three-team trade involving the Suns, the
Three-team.
Sixers,
Okay, I was about to say, it
and
gotta
the
be three
Bulls.
teams.
Okay? So Josh Richardson, Ben Simmons, and Lowry Markkanen
Okay.
are going to
Otto Porter.
the Suns.
Okay.
Otto Porter and Devin Booker
Go to
are
the
coming to the Sixers.
That's realistic.
And then going
To the Bulls.
to the Bulls is my guy,
yeah.
Al Horford.
And Tobias. Please.
No,
You keeping Tobias?
keeping Tobias and some picks. So my thought process is this. I believe Tobias Harris can fit this system. Because now I want you to think about what our new starting lineup will be.
Right.
My new starting lineup is Shake Milton and or veteran point guard. I want to go out and sign DJ Augustine. That's my first free agent acquisition. So I would probably start DJ Augustine at my point. I have starting at shooting guard Devin Booker. I have starting at small forward Otto Porter Jr., 3-and-D Wiz. I got starting at my 4 spot Tobias Harris, and I have starting at center Joel Embiid. So I have 4 guys who are 40% 3-point, 3 guys who are 40% 3-point shooters starting on my bench. Oh, also going to, sadly, I forgot one part. Also to sweeten the deal for Chicago, I had to get rid of Matisse Thybulle.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm
For sure.
about to say, I feel like you're missing someone.
I had to get rid
sure.
of Matisse Thybulle.
Okay.
I got a little ahead of myself. Let me finish the trade. So Matisse Thybulle, Al Horford to Chicago.
Okay.
And then I had the Sixers giving up their 2 very valuable second-round picks from this year. They're top of the second round.
For sure.
Going to Chicago. Going to Phoenix would be Lowry Markkanen, Josh Richardson, Ben Simmons, the 2020 OKC first-round pick, the 2021 Sixers first-round pick, the 2023 Sixers first-round pick, because you are not allowed to trade first-round picks in back-to-back years that are yours. But they can trade this year's 2020 pick without penalty because it was Oklahoma City's
pick,
first-round pick. So you're getting 3 first-round picks. You're getting an all-star, all-defensive player who would probably want to be there more than more than Devin Booker and Ben Simmons. You're getting Josh Richardson, another lockdown defender. That team is what it is. You know, you got to build, and Larry Markkinen.
So my only questions to you, or my only things to you, I do like to trade for everybody because everyone looks like it fits their situation.
They definitely bring value to
One, remind me, Josh Richardson has 1 more year, right?
1 more year, $10 million.
Okay, so that's an easy flip.
Movable.
For that. Yeah.
And I believe there's a team option after this.
So my only 2 problems with that I can really see. I mean, it's a great trade, honestly, and you clear the books or whatever.
Clear the books, yeah.
Hopefully they're watching it, so they probably not. But if
if y'all make this move, y'all better pay my man.
Yeah, I'm about to say. But my only concerns about this is the bench, because now you're getting rid of like Matisse. But obviously we would go into depth if you told me who the free agencies you'll pick up.
Right.
But like you said, because you said DJ Augustine, but you still need.
So this is my philosophy. Okay, I'm building the team for the playoffs. I'm not building the team for the regular season. No. So when you talk about bench, we're going 8 deep in the playoffs. Okay, coming off my bench would be Shake Milton. I still have a Furkan Korkmaz coming off of my bench. So I got 2 shooters right there.
Right.
And then you fill in the blank with a backup center.
No, I mean, I get you for that. That's not the reason why I'm saying for the bench. The regular season, no one cares about the regular season. Anyway.
Those guys are strong enough talents to win games in regular season.
You're gonna make the playoffs, especially how the East is. My thing was more for the bench because Otto Porter is known to get hurt a lot. Joel, he's going to miss a couple of games. Devin Booker, he had his injuries and stuff before.
He's good to tweak an ankle or a hamstring.
So my thing is more of when playoff time comes, do you have people, if they're out for that little 2 weeks where they might miss 2-3 games, are you going to have the right people in place? Like a DJ Augustine would be good for a Shake Milton.
So Jalen, you know this about me. Philosophically, when I talk about building basketball teams, as you tell, I'm getting a little hot on camera. Sweating.
Get that man in town.
The thoughts is just burning through my head.
Sorry.
So when we talk about my philosophy for building any type of team, for those who don't know, I'm a head lacrosse coach.
Right.
I'm a believer in potential.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
So when it comes to my bench, I want young guys.
Yeah.
I want young guards. I want guys who are not necessarily ready, but I see can develop. Does that make sense? So when I'm talking about bench, I don't want to spend a lot in free agency on my bench. First off, we can't afford to because you have 3 guys still on that roster making $30 million, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's unlikely. 4 guys technically with Otto Porter for the 1 year.
Yeah.
But what I want is the second-round picks, the later second-round pick guys. I want the guys that Daryl Morey finds, like P.J. Tucker, who was out there in Serbia somewhere.
Yeah.
And then he brought him in and started doing what he does. I wanted to leave the bench open, and I really go into discussing that on purpose because I want to have you got to work the margins in the NBA.
Yeah.
It's very important, especially once you get your stars, because your stars are taking up your cap.
And that's fine. That was just my only thing that I saw wrong with it. It's just more of because we don't know who the bench is and because of the history of their injuries. Yeah, that would be that would be my only worry.
I trust Doc Rivers, and for those who don't know, he brought in an amazing staff: Sam Cassell, Dave Yeager, a lot of guys. A lot of guys
that won in 08.
Right.
A lot of guys. And what I believe, it's my segment.
Right.
My segment. I'm reclaiming my segment. We're talking about the Celtics. We ain't talking about the Celtics
at all.
Okay? Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it.
At all. Sorry. Go ahead.
So I believe those guys can really develop some younger players. Sam Cassell has been credited for the work he did with Bradley Beal in Washington, and Bradley Beal credits him for a lot of the developments he made.
Yeah.
So when I look at a Sam Cassell, I believe he can take Shake Milton to that next level. Whatever that next level is for Shake Milton, whether that is just getting stronger, a slightly better handle, and he's a shooter who can be a secondary ball handler, that's fine. You got Devin Booker. We're going to be honest, Devin Booker's going to have the ball in his hand a lot.
Yeah.
Between Devin Booker and Joel Embiid, they're your hubs of your offense. And then you have Tobias. You let him run a little bit of high pick and roll. let him get downhill, get some mismatches. Tobias Harris is a 20-point game scorer. He is just not suited to be your second best
And
ball
here's the
handler.
thing, though. Tobias, his best portion of his career was with Doc.
He was almost an
for
all-star
sure.
with Doc.
Yeah, he was almost an all-star.
So-
yeah, he was. Yeah, I mean, like, it'll be
If you're
going to
keep anybody, he
he knows the system. It'll be better for him. I just think that,
I would say this. I like the part because at least you kept Joel. Cause
Oh, yeah, there's no shot I'm getting rid of Joel.
Yeah, I'm more of a. If you want to win now, he's the guy.
Oh, yeah,
you
he's
go
definitely the
with.
piece. He's definitely the
Ben
piece that you have
Simmons,
to
I
have.
think, is the bigger question mark of the two. I love them
Ben,
both.
I feel like Ben is gone. I feel like they're going to get rid of Ben.
I don't think Daryl Morey comes in and trades either one of them this year.
Yeah,
so in his
next year.
introductory
Next year for sure.
Like in his introductory press conference, he said something very important. He said most of the time, the right trade is not the right now trade.
Right.
So
For sure, yeah.
It's the trade that takes forever to make.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I need them to genuinely put the pieces they feel could definitely benefit the Joel and Ben Simmons system around them. And if it does not work, reevaluate from there. But I don't want to go into this all season unless you're giving me a Devin Booker.
Yeah. Which of course GM
In this situation,
Right.
was the case.
Right.
Unless you're giving me a Devin Booker, I don't want to give rid of a Ben Simmons'
Right.
potential without first seeing what those two can do when
sure.
properly, managed. Because besides their first year in the league, they haven't had a supporting cast that was built for them.
Yeah.
First year together in the league, they won
Yeah.
50 games, won a playoff series in 5 against a tough Miami team,
Mm-hmm.
and Ben Simmons was dominant in that series. People can't forget he dominated that series.
Yeah.
And then they've ran into a veteran Boston team and lost a lot of close games. It's not like Boston came in and blew them out like they
Right.
did
No,
this
no.
offseason,
Well-
like this past season. So you got to put these guys with players around them that benefit
and to
them.
be honest, the closest they ever got to getting a decent supporting cast around them was the Toronto Bounce. And
Yeah.
really,
Let's not
honestly,
talk-
Yeah, that was the best
no,
team
I
in
mean,
the
but,
league.
Not dreams.
yeah, but
Yeah.
in reality,
You would've
if it
lost
wasn't
in
for
five.
that. If it wasn't for that bounce, they would
KD
have
got
been in the
hurt.
finals.
What are you talking? We're not going there, but no,
They would have shot. They would have still basically shot y'all out.
no.
But,
not with that.
Joel
roster.
was not having his way. He just doesn't. I can go on Joel Embiid all day,
And
bro.
that's a segment on another topic.
That's
No,
another day.
but no, I like
Yeah.
that. Wish I could.
Yeah.